Welcome back to PSVG's Game Tech. That's where we talk about all the KPs, flops, and HDRs. I'm joined, as always, by the eater of hype, the buyer of the things, Mr. Donnie Reese. How are you this morning?
What's going on, Dev? I enjoy the jam. I always enjoy the Game Tech Jam. And it's such a great intro.
Yes, it is great. It's nice and mellow. Just takes you right in. It's beautiful. Beautiful. You did a good job with that one. Real good job.
Thank you very much.
Also joining us, as usual, is the JRPG master who just started a new show called the RPG Cave. You should check it out.
Just started?
Mr. Brand Explosion. Well, you got what, like 2 episodes?
We got 4, I think.
4.
We're doing our 4th episode today, I think. Or tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's going
So
good,
that's
though.
still new, yeah.
Yeah, it's still new. Yeah. Got my second cup of coffee. As I state every show that I do in the morning, I state which cup of coffee I'm on, and this is my second. And I'll be on my third pretty soon. I'm a caffeine addict.
Of coffee.
7 is when you have like more negatives than positives during the day, so I think I'm okay.
7. How
I
often
don't
do you get close to that?
Not close. 3 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get withdrawals, like headaches and things, if you don't have coffee?
Yes, I am an addict, and I admit it. Yeah, I get serious withdrawals.
Wow.
Productivity, over health.
I mean, coffee's delicious, so it's always good.
That's true.
I'm drinking the Coke with coffee, so I'm very happy about that. It's delicious.
I bet.
Are you still off coffee, Donnie? Does it still taste like garbage to you?
Yeah, I've completely lost my taste for coffee. I'd feel better for if I had COVID and had maybe an excuse for it. I don't know what happened. It just went away.
Good.
I just went to drink coffee one day and almost made me sick. And I've tried tasting it a few times ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
No go. Can't do it.
That is just weird.
I drink
That's fine.
coffee hardcore for a decade.
And then all of a sudden, just
I had a Starbucks Gold card.
yeah, me too. I had a pre-pandemic. I had a gold card. Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't stand Starbucks.
Americano,
I really can't.
extra shot, drink my coffee black.
Dang.
Yeah.
You had the strong stuff.
I tried mixing it and cutting it. I can't do anything. Cappuccinos,
Lattes.
macchiatos, nothing.
Yeah. Have you had a cafecito
Wow.
before? Mm-hmm. Oh, those are good.
It makes
What
my
is that?
not only have I lost the taste, but it makes my stomach hurt.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I think it's an
I get
acid
that.
thing.
I get that, actually, yeah.
I think it's an acid thing.
I can't drink coffee late in the night.
But you think
I
it'd
get
go
that
away?
problem.
But I stopped drinking coffee for a year, and I tried to drink some on vacations. Absolutely not.
Getting old sucks. That's what that is.
It's weird, yeah. Isn't it weird? Just one day, I just didn't like coffee. After loving coffee for 15 years, just woke up, didn't like it anymore.
So that's really liking coffee because you were just drinking straight coffee.
Yeah.
Not the shit that Starbucks peddles with all their sugars and
With
nonsense.
30 cups of
Oh, I could tell
sugar
you
in
the
there.
differences between brands, and I could actually taste test real coffee. I have coffee presses. I made my own coffee. I have coffee grinders. These are things that I have that
Now,
are just
what about-
useless now.
Putting some rum in your coffee. Does that allow you to drink it? Can you try that?
No, I don't think I would ever.
You
want
got to
do
put
that.
Baileys in there, I think.
Yeah.
In order to make it.
I'm just trying
Okay.
to find things Donnie likes to.
Nope. I started drinking tea instead, and then I got my Soda Stream. So that's what I would do.
The Soda Stream's nice.
So what's in there? Looks like some cream soda or something.
This is the Soda Stream's little energy water mix.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
You getting energy right now?
No,
You feeling it? No.
I'm so
Okay.
tired.
Bed's not
that,
helping.
I have that late night hangover feeling. My
Yeah.
eyes are dry and puffy. I've been up way too late. I had Friday off, so I've been treating this since Thursday night. I'm well, I'm good. Let's get some games in. I took vacation.
Yeah.
We had E3, so I've had a nice 2 weeks away from games for the most part. So I just dove all the way in.
Oh,
Oh,
just dove all the
no.
way out.
He dove all the. Did his PC froze or something? Let's see.
What the hell just happened?
I have
Did Kirby
no idea.
jump on the keyboard or something?
No, nothing. I did nothing. I haven't moved.
You sound fine. You look good.
I hate melon. I hate melon so much.
It was fine for like a month or a couple months.
Yeah.
It's the
And then-
worst.
Oh my goodness.
You try to do something to make things simple, and then it ends up turning into the worst.
Yep.
So did we just start putting money in Discord and make that better? Because I think with the Nitro boost, it gives you better options for streaming. And
Yeah, but
all
that's
that
like a lot
stuff.
more expensive, I think. But
It's
yeah,
like
we can
10
look
bucks a
into it.
month.
We can look into it.
We got 3
wonder if-
months of Nitro Boost right now
Yeah,
with Game Pass, I think.
yeah. You got 3 months if you aren't subscribed currently. So
Okay.
I've kept my subscription ever since the initial, so it allows me to, I think, stream and record at like 1080 or something. I don't remember.
Something. Oh, that's
So-
kind of cool.
Seems like such a waste.
Yeah, it
You
boosts
can
our
stream
server.
and record another product for free. Like that's just not any value at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives it a better quality, and it boosts our server, so we can have our fancy little logo that's a gift out and stuff.
Don't we already have that?
Well, if I take away my server boost, if me and Haley take those away, that goes away. Yeah, I think me and Haley are the only ones that boost the server.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay them like $10 a month just to do that.
Yeah.
They need to give us a little bit more. They need to find a better way. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, I really hope with whatever they're doing with PlayStation, it does more, because I would love for that to become.
Don't hope that. You know that's
It's going to
not-
be on the
Here,
same
let
level
me
as
have hope.
Xbox.
all they're
Let me
going to let
have
you
hope.
do is show your status via your
Exactly.
PlayStation account. That is all
I
that
don't
means.
want that. I
Let
don't.
it go.
I want to just chat on Discord on all the things.
It's not going to
Literally all the
happen.
things.
That's not going to happen. Are you serious?
I want that for not just for me.
For
I want that for
crossplay.
Xbox. I
The
want it for
crossplay company.
everything.
The crossplay company that charges everybody, and it's like, we got to
They're
protect the kids
assholes.
and everything. And here you are, like, I want to chat across all things. Like, come on,
I do.
get out of here. with
Don't
that
we want that?
nonsense.
Don't we all want that?
We want
do.
that,
We can-
but Sony's like,
Right.
nah.
But we all know that Sony is never going to let that happen.
They have a vested interest. They put money in it. I just want to believe
To
'cause
make
I'm
a
so tired of
connection,
using PlayStation
to literally
chat. I'm
link
so
your
tired of it.
PSN account with Discord. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
You remember what PlayStation used to do with Facebook? Like you used to be able to
No.
tie your Facebook account to your PlayStation account on PlayStation 3. And then like if you bought a game, it would just post to your Facebook. It's like, "Hey, I bought
that's
Ratchet and
abysmal.
Clank today." And like that's all it was. That's all it did for like 10 years. People are like, "Why the hell did you even do this?"
Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
That was a thing.
Jesus, it's awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's get ready.
I'm holding out just a wee bit of hope, because PlayStation chat is just. I want to be able to talk through all of my fancy stuff. So
I'd have to have friends that want to play with me. Dev doesn't want to play with me. I've been trying to.
I want to play
Dev.
with you,
No,
Donnie.
no,
The
you
problem is you pick all the wrong times.
I've been up till 3 a.m. the last 3 days, and every night I'm like, "Hey, you want to hang out while we play games?" He's like, "Yeah,"
Oh yeah.
and then it just never shows up. He's like, "Man, these
I
kids."
said
this
yes
family,
on
these
Tuesday,
kids."
and I showed up.
Late.
Yesterday, I said
like an
no.
hour late, an hour
Well,
and a
I
half
told you it was
late.
gonna be late.
You were like, "I'll be there in 30 minutes," is what you said.
My
Showed up
son
near
didn't
2
feel
hours
well,
later. Like,
and I stayed up and played. My son had a tummy ache. He wanted to be with dad. Okay, I'm sorry.
Can't ignore that.
Sorry. What am I supposed to do? No, son. I gotta go talk to my friends.
I ain't giving an F about these kids. Okay, these kids are coddled. They need to get over it. All right, I'm over it. All right, I've been doing it for 15 years now. I get it. I'm over it. It's time for them to move on. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't just say sucks to suck. You just gotta toughen up and
Here's some Robitussin. Keep it
here's
moving.
Rub some tussin on it.
Get some tussin on there. Get
have
the
some
tussin
tom
in there.
toms and you're good.
Oh my god.
You know, I had that Chris Rock Bigger, Better, and Blacker album.
Mm-hmm.
I had that album when I was like 9.
Jesus.
And my wife was like, "That's what's wrong with you." She's like, no kid should have ever been allowed to hear this. She's like, "You shouldn't be allowed to hear this. You're 18." Like, I had the whole album, listen to it frequently, like can regurgitate it, can talk it in sync with him when I'm watching it live. I love that album. It was.
I promise you guys, this is a game tech show.
Is it?
It's just whatever we want it to be.
It's just whatever we
Rebecca.
want it to be.
Hey, when we talk
Hi,
Stadia.
Bex.
Chat.
Hey,
Oh,
Bex.
Stadia.
We can talk Stadia.
Their logos, they were all over at E3. E3 happened, guys.
Oh yeah.
There was something.
That Ubisoft show. The Stadia logo, man, right there. One after the other.
Every game.
Stadia. Ubisoft should just buy Stadia. And then just make it Ubisoft Black.
Just change more of it together.
Might as well. Somebody needs to.
I mean,
Jesus.
that's 90% of Stadia's games, right? It's Ubisoft games.
Of the ones that anybody's really interested in, yeah. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down.
Stadia. No, you won't. You say that.
Yeah, nobody
You say
is.
that, but you won't.
There's
Let's
like
just
8
be real.
people. 8 people are like, we love it.
If it's just
being
Ubisoft
extreme.
Pass, like an Xcloud, I'll be down.
I think they're going to do that. I was
Yeah,
talking
they
to
need
Chase
to.
last night, and he mentioned that he thinks they're going to do some sort of like Google Premium bundle where you get YouTube Premium, YouTube Music, their cloud storage, and Stadia for $20 a month or something like that. That actually
okay.
makes sense. That sounds about right. I
Yeah.
can see them doing something like that, because then
They
music
should've
and
did that
YouTube,
long time ago.
like music and YouTube would then subsidize Stadia, right? So
Yeah.
like they can just kind of keep Stadia around because it's not costing them anything.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I would do
my
it
boy
too.
Who works for Google, and he's just like, we just put out the bare minimum. Just here's a little bit, and we'll see if it gains some traction. And if it does, maybe we'll keep it around.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it if it wasn't expensive. Like, I think 25 and up is too much, but I already give them like $15 a month for YouTube Music. So if they're like, here's Stadia and OneDrive and Cloud Drive, whatever the hell it's called, and YouTube Premium and everything, I'd be like, all right, I'm down.
If you take advantage of all of those services, yeah, that's a good value.
Yeah,
If it's $20
Yeah.
or 25.
Yeah. What are you giving them $15 a month for YouTube Music?
it's like the same thing as Spotify, right?
Yeah, it's like all the music
Yeah, you just get
you
all the
can
music.
think of.
I'm not
No.
paying them for anything, and I have the YouTube Music service, and I have albums, and it works like Spotify. And I'm trying to figure out, am I paying for that and just don't realize it?
You got to be. Yeah. And I also pay for the family plan too.
I have the YouTube Red thing. I wonder if that just comes
That
with
probably just covers it. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think it does.
Because
It
I
just
can't
covers it.
stand the ads. Drives
And I
me
think
nuts.
I think they grandfathered that in. I think you're on a discount for at least like a year or something once they made the switch away from Google Play. But yeah, once we made the switch, then I jumped on the family plan, so everybody in the house just has free music. They can just listen to whatever they want. And it also, my plan also eliminates ads on YouTube,
Yeah.
which was always sounded dumb to me. Like, I'm not going to pay to skip that. And then once you do it, and you're like, oh, this was worth it.
100%.
So much better.
It was
100%.
so worth it. I don't think I
Yeah,
could ever go back,
oh.
actually.
Every time I'm like watching something on YouTube, and then I end up switching over to the PSVG YouTube because I'm editing or whatnot, and then I watch a video, and then it plays that. I'm like, God damn it, I'm on the wrong one. I gotta switch.
Yeah,
I gotta
you
get out of here. These ads are driving
Just
me
feel
nuts.
like immediately inconvenienced. I don't have
I've
these
been-
2 minutes.
I've been conditioned with the ads though. Like, I'm not going in. I'm not paying for this because I know that's what's going to happen. Is that I'm going to be like, oh, this is so much better. It's like,
It's
nope.
so nice, Garrett.
I got it. I got to
Just
stick to my
imagine-
guns.
Just
skip ad
imagine
button.
endlessly swiping through YouTube videos just unopposed, just unchecked,
That sounds like a nightmare.
uninterrupted. Just, you want to watch that, you click it and just starts playing. No waiting. You don't see flow or from progressive. Nothing happens. Like, you just keep going. It sounds it's amazing.
At
It's
least
great.
ads kind of like revert back to my subconscious. Like, oh, you're watching a lot of YouTube videos. Why don't you get out of that condition right now?
Nah.
So it's good.
No,
It's
I
good for
like
me.
No, we watch a lot of YouTube videos. I think we spend more time on YouTube than we do maybe any other channel, actually. Like, YouTube has almost become like how we watch a lot of TV. Almost.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Almost. because we don't watch it, like we still watch sitcoms and stuff. We'll watch through Netflix or whatever, but like YouTube has become this family thing where we all really enjoy like stupid dumb videos like fails or funny TikToks or anything like that. So it's easy to just pop that in and put on like a compilation and just let it play for like the whole family to watch. And we'd rather watch that as a family unit than like any of us actually agreeing on one show to watch together. Like it's much harder to find an actual TV show to do that with.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, my kids love watching YouTube. My son just wants to watch Mario videos all day long. My daughter's watching Beanie Boo stuff. My
Nice.
wife is definitely of the I want to watch the funny fails and TikToks.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't want to watch any of that crap.
that's my life. I
Like,
do that all the time.
We're not doing that. No, I'm gonna watch people put together PCs. That's
And
what
she's
I end
like,
up watching on YouTube.
My
Some
husband
Linus
is-
Tech Tips.
My
Yeah.
husband is a dork. That's what she's like.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Very different
Like, where-
content feeds.
Very much. So that goes to show you how hard it is for us to find a show we all watch. So we end up usually watching like Wipeout or something like that because we can laugh at people and we're good.
Holy moly!
I don't even know what that is. Never heard of that
Never
one.
heard of that
You
one.
should
yeah.
watch it.
Wipeout, American Ninja Warrior, Little Bear, Craig of the Creek.
American Ninja Warrior.
I love that show. I always wanted to do it. I was like, I could do that. No, I can't. I'm old and I will fall apart.
I could do that.
No, I know better.
I look at it. I'm like,
Sure.
I'm not doing that.
So, what's new, man? What is anybody got new tech? I see some plates back there in your background, Donnie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm in my PlayStation 5 plates. They're white for time being,
Okay.
but they're not done yet. But so you can see, like I've painted them. I got the insides are black, the outside. So Garrett, this is new, but
Yeah.
not sure if you can see that there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a
You got The Last
PlayStation
of Us.
5 sticker bomb, and I've got doing all
Nice.
Last of Us stickers. I'm just waiting for the rest of my stickers to arrive. That's
Very,
Cool.
Very cool.
You
Doubling
love your
down on my-
customization on all your stuff.
Yeah, man.
You got that.
You gotta make it your own. Like games are, like your hardware. You can it's just a personality litmus test.
I know. That's so cool. Really,
Yeah,
really cool.
this is why we got to get Donnie a new computer case.
Oof.
More
Not going-
customization.
We're not going through that again. What a disaster.
You were trying to find computer cases?
Well, Rob 3000.
Rob goes into like,
He's inevitable.
yeah, he is.
That's the perfect word. He's inevitable. He's going to happen.
Yes.
You're going to have to deal with it. Like that's Rob 3000.
and he'll
so he
give you all
comes
the
in-
options.
He shows these awesome cases that are, like, I don't know, Fallout inspired and stuff like that. And they
Oh,
look
okay, yeah.
awesome. And I'm like, that's cool. I would like a cool case because, look, I like cool stuff. Like, I like having
Yes.
cool
You like
things.
customizing, yeah.
It's fun. And I was like, ooh, I want one. I'm just going to go buy one. And then Dev's like, you can't buy one. Oh, why not? And he's like, well, you it needs its own parts. I'm like, well, I just use the parts that I have. He's like, but the parts you have are built for the thing you've got. I'm like, well, then we'll just swap those out. And he's like, okay, that's like $1,000. And then this is $1,000. And they're like, you have to find it. And this won't work. And that one, I'm like, just forget it. Just forget it. Just forget I ever said, I'll put a sticker on it. I'll get a cool sticker and I'll just put it on the side of this dumb metal box.
So is it the motherboard that it wouldn't fit in the case?
Yeah.
It's a
I guess
Dell.
so.
And Dell likes to do things proprietarily. It's
I
made
see.
specifically for that case. All of the IOs are in the front. And on
Oh.
the back, the only IOs are like at the bottom for the graphics card. It's like a blank metal like space where you would have usually all your USBs and all of that stuff.
That's
and then at the
terrible.
bottom,
I've
they
got a bunch of
have the graphics
USBs and
card.
stuff in the back.
Yeah, but they're not in the normal place where
It's
everything
not the
would normally
graphics
be.
card, right? iOS, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
It's
so
weird.
rough.
So it won't really work in a traditional case.
Yeah.
So we'd have to get a new motherboard. I mean, the thing is, like, a new motherboard wouldn't be too bad. And then he's got an i7 and he's got a 2070 Super or just 2070. So you've got good pieces in there. It'd really be about buying the motherboard, the case,
Yeah, those are the two biggest things.
Fans, all that good stuff.
And at that point, you just buy another one. Just buy a new PC. Just have somebody else do it.
I mean, I already told you. You ship me the parts, I'll build it.
Yeah, but then I gotta go find all these parts and everything. And then you were telling me that like it would only do a certain amount, and if I wanted it to be like 4K, then I have to buy more. It's just like, just forget it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought
PC
it looked
is such a mess right now.
I thought it looked cool,
It is.
and everybody talks about how it is, and then you get into it and you realize all these extra hoops, and it's like, just forget it.
Well, you just can't buy a
forget
GPU right now. Actually, I was thinking, and I know Dev's so against this, but I've been thinking when I move, I don't want to carry this 1080 Ti machine all around. Like I think I gotta sell it.
Gotta get that new Razer Blade, man.
I gotta get a laptop, I think.
Did you see the E3 Razer Blade?
Yeah, the E3 Razer Blade's cool. Now they have to review it because you got to be very careful with like thermals, and the compatibility of it. When it says a 3080 in there, that doesn't mean it's gonna be faster than a laptop with a 3070. You got to make sure that you really get into the reviews, because laptops are all over the place.
Yeah, 'cause it's got a 3080 and it's got a AMD processor that everybody's all excited about.
They're going AMD. It's got a 3080, in name only, because
how is that possible? Because we see the 3080 and it's like the size of Jeff Grubb's face. So how is that in a laptop?
Mm-hmm.
It's the mobile version of the chip, and based on thermals, it could get up to like regular 3080 performance, but it's about how long can it sustain that because of the heat. Are we able to offset enough of that heat to actually keep the thing running at the speeds that it needs to run to achieve that performance? Laptops are always a tricky space because of the heat. Really, can you dissipate enough heat to let the thing run at the speeds it needs to run to maintain that performance? So you can get big performance drop-offs just because of the heat. They have to slow down the chip so much to actually be able to perform without destroying your laptop. So
okay, that makes sense.
They run lower speeds than a traditional 3070, 3080. Yeah.
Well, I had the Razer Blade that had the 2060 in it, and it was great.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that this would be way better, and probably better than your current PC build.
Yeah. I was looking at Alienware laptops. They're actually pretty good for the price, the 3070. So I don't know. Yeah. It's a wait and see approach.
Most of them, they're pushing 1080p screens. They're not pushing like 2K or 4K screens. So that also helps with that.
Yeah.
So it'll run. It'll do well.
Portability, Dev.
Here you go. It's portable.
Speaking of screens, I have screens now. I have 2 screens.
Oh, yeah.
Got rid of the ultra wide.
Yeah.
You were right, Garrett. It sold pretty quick. I had no shortage of people that wanted to buy it.
No issue whatsoever. Yeah.
I listed it before we left, thinking that somebody might message me. I had like 10 people when I came back that I had to reach out to that all wanted it, and it sold that same day.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And it's nice because once you go into your Mario Golf, you got your Switch, you got your deck, you can stream it, and then you could do whatever you want on the left, and it's really nice, actually.
Yep. I'm actually real happy with it. I feel good coming back to
Shut up, Chaffee. Shut your face.
Actually.
Nerds.
Go fall on a skateboard.
He's probably skateboarding right now. He does the Twitch and skateboarding thing. But yeah, that was the reason why. I was messing with the ultra wide, and it has like a picture-in-picture mode, and it has set up for multiple sources, and it just wouldn't work. I could not get it to work. I couldn't get it to identify anything. I plugged like 10 devices into it, and it just wouldn't work. If it had the picture-in-picture, I would have kept it. But because it didn't have the picture-in-picture, and you guys know, like, I had set up this little Roku TV for Jack to stream, but then it shows this area of my room as the background and not this. And I didn't like that either. And I was like, well, I could just move stuff around. And I thought about putting it over here, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then, the nerds in the room, they're like, just get a mount and just mount it off to the side. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that either. I don't want some
or mount it on top, you son of a
transformer looking computer screen.
You'll have a battle station.
It's ridiculous. So I was going to rewire everything before I went on vacation. I don't know why. Like, Dev created this monster, but I just wanted to like redo everything. Like we talked last, and I was like, I'm just going to rewire everything. So I unplugged everything, pulled everything away, cleaned all my surfaces, started putting it back. and I pulled out my old Acer monitors, and I very much enjoyed these monitors when I was streaming somewhat regularly a couple years ago. And I put them back up, and I set my Switch up, and I set my little capture card up, and I mounted it to the table. I got the Velcro. I mounted it to the table so it never moves, and I got all the wires exactly right, and I tied them off, and I rolled them up and got rid of all the excess, and now it's good. So now when I want to stream, as Garrett said, I put my Switch in the dock, I pull one cable from there, and I plug it in, good to go. Switch pops up on one monitor. I have the other monitor to do everything. It's nice. It's real nice.
I like dual monitors setup.
I do.
Way more
I
than
do
one.
too.
Yeah.
I just don't like his dual monitor setup.
I know.
He had a great one. He could have had a dual monitor setup with that.
Just a
And why are you unplugging cables? Get a damn HDMI switch.
Nah.
I got an HDMI switch right here.
It just goes from it literally moves. It moves 6 inches. I just pull it out and it goes right there.
Then you gotta move things and
No, I moved
constant
nothing.
plugging and
I moved
unplugging
nothing.
of you're moving the cable, and the
So?
unplugging and plugging is gonna degrade your cable
No,
and
it's
your port over
Look
time.
at this ridiculous. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'm excited to stream Mario Golf.
For 2 days.
Maybe, yeah, because I'm
we'll
not.
see.
I'm reluctantly buying Mario Golf. Like at this point, I'm not. I've lost the hype.
I got the physical version, so
Yeah, so you can
see
trade
how
it
it
in.
goes. Yeah,
Smart.
so we could trade it in.
Smart.
Yeah. You let me know how it goes, Donnie, and I'll decide if I want to purchase it. If you feel like you're gonna be in there for a while, if you're
Oh,
really
I'm going to
enjoying
be
it,
in there for a
I'll
while
pick
with
it
her.
up.
Either way, I'm just probably going to be in there a while by myself. Like that's ultimately what it is. Like with no tournaments and stuff, it's probably just going to be me because I don't care about the speed golf thing. Like they're doubling
gonna
down.
run
Yeah, they're
across that
doubling
field.
down on this dumb speed arcade mode, and it's like I don't care about that at all. I could care very
Why-
little about that.
Speed golf. That sounds awful.
They'll bring. I keep saying this, and I'm not sure if I'm trying to make myself feel better or if I really believe it, but I'm going to keep saying they'll bring tournaments later. They've got to. There's no way that they do this entire thing without having online tournaments. I can't imagine that being possible.
Yeah, that'd be really weird.
After
I
World,
feel like that's kind of the point.
yeah, after World Tour's popularity, and it sold really well for a golf game, like for the franchise, it sold so strong. I couldn't imagine them doing it without it. Like they've got to do it. So I'll continue waiting for the updates.
Cool. Well, I'll be listening and seeing if it's worth me jumping in so we can play golf together, Donnie.
Yeah, man, you should
Super
do it.
late at night.
Be there. Get the physical
Listen.
copy like Garrett, and you can just trade it in.
I'll definitely be getting the physical copy, that's for sure.
It'll hold its value.
Trade it in and
I mean,
get
everything
Metroid
does
Dread.
Nintendo. It's just-
I'm hoping it unlocks
well,
at
I
midnight.
already have Metroid Dread. I've already purchased my Metroid
Good.
Dread.
Metroid.
Fucking hype.
Yes.
Let's go.
So excited about that. Best news out of E3 was that game for me.
Really? Out of the whole thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Out of the whole thing. Yeah.
Wow.
exciting.
For sure. Love me some 2D Metroid. So good. So good. As
I got
Rebecca
you those
says,
Amiiboys.
Metroid good. Yes, I'm very happy about that. My first and only amiibo ever. I don't think I'll be getting any more of them. Maybe for Breath of the Wild. We'll see. I don't
If you
know.
keep them in the
Maybe.
package in like a year, you can always flip them for like $200.
I won't flip them. I'll keep them. It's too much work. Anybody else get anything new? Any new tech you got on your end? Garrett, anything?
I'm poor. That's very much it. I'm poor, and I don't buy new things like every month. So there you go. My
I got some
birthday's
new
next
tech,
month,
but it's
so
not
we'll
like.
see.
I got some new tech, but it's not like game related at all.
So, what you got?
So-
Besides
oh,
that soda
Yeah,
stream?
what you got?
I got this sleep system that's kind of like changing my life.
Right.
Yeah, man, I really like it. It's called the Uller, which is a terrible name. It's like cooler without the C. It's dumb, but
That is dumb.
it's cool. It's this mattress topper, and it has like these tubes in it, and these very tiny tubes, and you hook it to this little pump, and this thing cools water and pumps it through the mattress topper. So essentially, the surface that you're laying on stays cool and stays cold. So if you're a hot sleeper like me, and like you've lived your entire life with like, really expensive air conditioning bills and big fans, this is a game changer. because it doesn't matter like how many fans or how cold you like. If you're laying on a mattress, right, like you always just get hot, especially if you're under a blanket. And this like keeps that entire surface like real nice and cool. And I've been sleeping great. Like ever since I've got it, I've been sleeping much better than I have in like what I feel like years, like 2 or 3 years. Game changing. And it's like, I don't wake up and I'm like, oh, I feel so refreshed and I'm not stressed or anything. It's like you wake up and you realize like how deep of a sleep you've been in compared to before. Like before, I would wake up multiple times at night. I'm constantly turning. I'm shuffling pillows, right? Because I'm warm and I'm trying to stay in contact with like a cool surface, right? So I'm flipping over and everything. Now I'm just going to sleep and I'm just staying asleep. Like, and you just wake up and like, you know, like I have heavy eyes again, like dreams are returning, you know, like I'm starting to like dream hard again. Like I'm just really, really sleeping. And it's just like, oh, it's the best. It's expensive. But if there's anybody out there that hears any of like this and they're like, oh, that kind of sounds like me. I know it's expensive and it's like a hard thing to jump off the end of, but I've been doing it for 2 weeks now. And I honestly don't think I could ever go back. This is one of those things that like when I travel, I might bring it with me. It's like, oh, I need this forever, actually. Yeah.
Joffrey's killing me.
That's
This
also
guy.
true. That's not wrong, Chalby. So there's that part of it as well.
Oh,
This is why Donnie's able to stay up till 3 a.m. lately, because he's getting such good sleep.
you know?
He's not exhausted.
Mm-hmm. That's also true. Yeah. Spot on.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. I'm glad that you are getting some good sleep, because that is so important.
It's so nice.
Important.
It's
so is
so
it just
nice.
a cover that goes over the mattress?
Yeah. It's a little
Okay.
mattress topper. It's got like a little elastic. You pull it, and it has these tubes that run from the top or the bottom, wherever you set it up, to the control unit. And the control unit is like, it's hard to explain. It's like, you know, like the humidifiers, like the Vicks humidifiers, things that you can buy to like, you know, steam a room.
Yeah.
It's like maybe like that in size, a little heavier, and you just fill it with distilled water and you close it, and then it has an app on your phone. And you can even, one of the cool things you can do, I don't use it like this, but my wife likes about it, because it doesn't have to be cool. You can heat it as well. So what my wife likes to do is she sets a schedule to where it cools from like 9 p.m. to like 3 a.m. And then from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. it gently warms. So she always wakes up to like a warm bed. It can do that as well. So it goes both ways. I just set it as cold as possible and just lay on top of it. And the cool thing is we got the queen version, so it has dual zones.
Oh,
so each
you
of
can
us,
do one way or the other.
each of
That's
us can
really cool.
control our own side of the bed. Yeah, because you can buy it where it's just your side, and I just thought that was like weird. Like I didn't want to do that. Like I'm gonna have this cool thing only on my side of the bed while she just sleeps regular. It's like, nah, let's do the whole thing. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. I also got it, as you guys know, I also got it for like half off. So
And then ended up somehow making money off of it.
yeah, basically that's how that worked. Like I kind of came out ahead on that one, so I feel even better about that. But that is, none of that matters compared to how well I've been sleeping since I've had it. It's very nice.
Chaffee says he needs that link whenever you're done. He apparently wants it as well.
It's called the Ooler, Chalfie. Just look up Ooler Sleep System. OOLER. Ooler Sleep System. I bought mine off Amazon. You can buy it from their website. It's not cheap though. Just don't be like sticker shock when you look at it. It's one of those
Chaffee out
things.
here balling.
Doesn't sound cheap.
It's not cheap, and and when you get it, you're like, why is this so expensive? But like, I feel like all of bedding is that expensive, right? Like if you want a really nice mattress, like it's going to be expensive. Don't buy a cheap mattress. That's a life lesson. Like it's one of the few things you don't skimp out on.
Yeah.
Don't skip out on a mattress.
Yeah.
You realize it like when you spend how much time you spend sleeping, that like invest in your sleep. It's a worthy investment. Don't buy cheap pillows. Don't buy cheap blankets, cheap sheets. Don't cheap out on your bed. There's lots of places to cut corners in life. Your bed isn't one of them.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Life
Sleep
advice.
is important. Yep. Sage advice from old man Donnie before he rides off into retirement.
Getting there.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think the only thing that I've gotten new would be the screen, and I'm still loving it. You need to get one, Garrett. It's beautiful.
I'm loving it.
Come on.
Beautiful. So nice. Oh, it's
Stop
so
it.
good. Playing
Stop it.
playing Ratchet and the LCD in the back changes colors as I'm moving through levels and things.
Well, you sound like
And
Milo.
it's just
I've been
so
doing that on the
smooth.
TV for ever.
Yeah, but you also need an extra device. Mine is just built in. It's just there. It's just there.
Same effect.
I love playing Ratchet and Clank, but I'm super jealous. I'm not playing on a very nice TV or monitor. I have a 1440p monitor. I can't put that PS5 into there. I have to do a 1080p screen because it's just going to be blurry.
You're
stretch.
you're missing out on everything that Ratchet is good for.
It's so good.
And I hate saying that because I don't want to like demean your experience.
I don't know. Like, I understand the colors pop a lot more on a TV, and then I play on my 4K TV. It's pretty good, but on my 1080p screen TV, it's also fine as well if I'm like close enough and everything. So, I'm having a very good time with Ratchet.
My favorite
as a
thing
game.
about Ratchet is how good, like it is technically.
Yeah.
Like its production is just through the roof.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, 1080p Ratchet just doesn't seem like it'd hit the same.
Yeah, nah. That just feels wrong.
I've done both
Doesn't
4K and 1080p TV, and it's just like, I don't know. It seems to be just fine either way for me.
I've been playing with the ray tracing mode, the performance ray tracing. And
Yeah, the Performance RT one.
it just looks so damn good. Like I tried playing in performance mode and truly noticed like the lack of the reflections and everything. I was just like,
Yeah.
it looks dull. It ends up looking dull. Like looking at Clank and seeing just how dull he is without the reflections. I was like, I gotta go back to performance ray tracing. And it looks so good. Like you can't really tell without really dialing it in the difference in the resolution. Like it still looks so good. I was like,
Yeah,
I
all
think I'm
three
gonna finish
modes.
this with the performance ray tracing. It's
All
beautiful.
three modes look similar. Like if you just
Yeah.
cycle through them all, it can be hard to tell the difference. I actually take the opposite way. I turned on the performance ray tracing and I saw little shiny effects and little reflections and gleams. I was like, that's good, but it wasn't a life-changing experience for me. I wanted to go back.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I didn't change
A
the mode at
lot.
all. It's like, best one, Performance RT. All right, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
fine. And just go for it.
Yeah. They are wizards out there at Insomniac. I don't know how they're doing it, but good lord, whatever they're doing is just straight magic. It's insane. It's insane.
I heard you guys on XP. Did you guys see me in the chat? Not to break this off into an Xbox slant, but in the chat, Delvin was like, are they just going to keep doing this? Like, no, Delvin, they're not just going to keep, they're not going to release 3 games in a year. Like, obviously, they held back Miles for the PlayStation 5 launch while they were working on
Right.
Ratchet. Like, there's an obvious reason how this happens, but I love that, like, that's the takeaway. It's like, next year, we're just going to get 3 Insomniac games.
Yeah, no. no.
Everybody calm down.
That's not what's gonna
Might
happen.
get a VR game, maybe. That's
no,
it.
they'll go quiet here for a bit before they come back. I'm sure though that they'll still continue to be, you know, one of the faster revolving studios. Not going to be like a Naughty Dog situation.
Right.
They'll be back sooner rather than later. Imagine with the next Spider-Man.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be.
It'll be late in this gen, but
Fast.
yeah. It's going to be.
I don't
gonna be pretty
know.
good.
No, I think it'd be 2 or 3 years. We'll get the next Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe Spider-Man, yeah. It'll be the same engine and everything.
Yeah, because I mean, I believe, and I don't know this to be true, but I believe based off what I've played and what I've heard, Miles Morales probably started as an expansion or DLC, and then they probably added on to it to make it its own release. Yeah. And then Spider-Man was a remaster, and it's a significant remaster, but it was just a remaster. It's not like a brand new game. They're working off an engine. They're redoing textures and everything like that. Then Ratchet, they were probably working on, because of those things, were probably, I think Miles was probably held. Again, they probably worked on that a little longer than I think people were expecting, or at least had it longer than they were expecting. And then, yeah. So now they'll move to a new Spider-Man, which will probably update the engine and everything and make it all shiny and bells and whistles. But 2 or 3 years, I'd imagine we'll get the next Spider-Man.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
have 2 studios working on, like, bouncing back and forth, so.
I would bet 2 years, mainly because they've already got so much experience working on PS5 that I feel like they'll be able to turn it out, and it's going to be incredible.
Yep.
So
Yep, I'd agree with that.
much more excite. Yes. As Sean Capri hops in the chat.
Much more, Sean.
Much more, Sean. Yes. All right. Well, let's jump into some news. What you got for us, Garrett?
Well, I was actually listening to some other podcasts, and they mentioned this report from Bloomberg. It was mainly focusing on VR and how this company is an LCD Japanese display company, Liquid Crystal Display (LCD), and they're fading away from the iPhone and going to the VR headsets. And it's like, all right, cool. This company's shifting markets or whatever. Phones are not using LCDs anymore, whatever. The main takeaway I got from this Bloomberg report and a lot of other gaming websites are getting at is about the Sony VR headset. There's a little bit more news about the new Sony VR headset from insiders. They said that Sony is in agreement with Samsung to do OLED screens for their VR headsets versus all the other VR headsets that are using LCD. And it's scheduled to come out holiday 2022. Those were the two biggest things. There were no comments from Sony or Samsung about it, but it's just from insiders. That's the plan. So guys, do you guys care about LCD, OLED, any of those screen types for your VRs?
I feel like the boat has sailed for me in VR.
Okay.
I feel because I'm invested in the PlayStation 5 now, I think I'm actually ready to turn the corner, and I now want to say, as much as I appreciate Sony being new and investing in a new medium, I'd rather those resources be spent developing games for PlayStation 5 that I can play natively without an add-on. I think PlayStation 4 VR was cool. I very much like experimental. I like when companies do that. I want to support them. I bought PlayStation VR, but after having it and seeing what it went through for a couple years, I feel like you can probably say it was a mistake, or maybe just not the best money spent. It's like I don't feel like they really paved the way or made a lot of traction in that market, and maybe the market's just not ready for it. Maybe the second go will. But like for the investment they put on it, and they put internal teams on it and had software and supported it, and they've had lots of sales and everything. It's just like, at the end of it, what did you accomplish? And it doesn't look like you accomplished much. I hear from a lot of people. A lot of people are like, I got all this PSVR stuff like in a pile in my closet.
I hear a lot.
And it's just like, then don't do it. I'd rather just give me better games. Just give me more games that we can all play versus games you can do this. But it sounds like they're invested. Like, we've seen their controller. They're going to do it again. Yeah. But yeah, man, I got PSVR. I got all excited about it. I got like the little revision model. Got all excited about it. I got Oculus. Like, I've tried it. I've tried to do it. I've seen what was there to be seen. I played Alex. And at the end of the day, now I'm like, I think I'm over it. I think I'm done.
You think you're good with the VR headset? I've never personally had a VR headset. I've only tried it once, and that was like years ago, like 2017. So I'm sure it's much more improved now. If I had any extra income after I got all the consoles and things I need, VR is definitely a second tier thing. It's like, oh, maybe I could get it if I have the money or anything like that. It's interesting to see Sony going with OLED. I think it's going to be better for them with the colors and everything. But I think I go with LCD. All the other VR headsets go with LCD just because how cheap it can be. And like, you don't need a flexible, and you can put a ton of pixels per inch in an LCD screen versus an OLED. So
we don't
those
know
are like
this
the
to be
major
true,
differences.
but we expect it to be true because we know that the new one will be plugged in. It'll have a USB-C port and all that.
Yeah.
The fact that they're not going wireless and that you can't use it as a standalone, I think really kills most any interest that I'd have in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been totally interested in PSVR at all. VR in general. And you guys kind of touched on what I was going to make the topic highlight of the week, but let's just get into it. Yeah, so like Donnie was saying, like, their investment, they're like really invested. I believe they sold about 5 million units of VR. And I guess that was enough for them to feel like we can do this, make it better, and keep this ball rolling. And it just makes me wonder, is it ever going to be a big enough splash to really make VR take off in a way? Like, I'm just not interested. I know Delvin is very, very excited about, the next VR unit. Haley would be if she had room.
Sure.
But for me, it's just like my gaming. I just want to sit down in a chair and pick up a controller. The idea of having to put on a headset, be tethered, and it not be the gaming experience that I really want, because, trying to figure out movement and everything. Every VR experience I've had has been okay, but it's not been something that I'd want to go back to. So I just, like you said, like it could be, it feels like money could be spent elsewhere better. Unless they're really feeling like, unless they've got some kind of report somewhere that shows them that they can do this for a cheap amount and make bucks or something.
I don't think
I
PlayStation.
don't know what the point is.
I don't think PlayStation can carve out a significant piece of the market for VR unless they use first-party studios to do so.
Yeah,
and that's the investment that feels like a waste. Like if they were just doing it with third-party and just letting it happen, I'm like, that's fine, But like they'll never get the traction that like Oculus is getting if they don't put their first-party teams and IP on it. And it's like, that's where I get a little concerned, because I'd rather just make those PlayStation 5 games. And maybe they can do both. I don't know. Like maybe they can have a game that you can do both. You can play it in VR. It's optional. But like I could imagine
some games that are like that.
If you just pick one of their IP, I don't know, you just pick one, and it's like, here's a brand new game, from Sony in this experience that's only playable in VR, and it's like, God, that feels like a miss.
It gotta be a heavy hitter too. It gotta be spectacular in order to like.
It's an easy thing to do when you have 90 million units out there. It's a harder thing to do when you're like, you've got 7, and you're trying to make as many more as you can. Like the idea of a PSVR only on PS5 thing coming out next year, that sounds hard. That sounds. It's like nobody. Does anybody want that?
I don't think I've heard one person that's like, I really, really want a PSVR 2. Like
I think there are people that do. Now, we may be a little harsh on it, so I'll stick up for VR. There are some VR experiences that are amazing. You know how I feel about Beat Saber and Pistol Whip. Like there are some things, like Moss was really, really good. I like VR. I really like VR. It's just with the added expense, the investment for development, and everything that goes with it, including a brand new PS5 that people are still having a hard time buying. This just seems like the wrong time for it. Like it doesn't seem like, again, I'm trying to think of all right, let's say there's a new Killzone and it's PSVR only. Like they announced that. People would be happy or mad? I'd be mad.
I would be curious to what it is. That's the thing. And what studio made it, and like, I understand that it's diverting resources, but what if a studio really wants to do a VR? Like,
but your cost of entry to play that is $700-800 at MSRP right now. That's true. Like they don't have a PS4 Slim for $199 that you can bundle with the PS4 VR headset. The PS5s are $500 if you can get them, or more. You got people out here paying $700-800 for PlayStation 5s. Yeah. And here you are, you're going to come in. I don't think any of us expect this PSVR 2 to be $199, right? No, $299 at best.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. $300 at the very least.
That's if they're nice to us. So you're talking $800, $1,100 to play a PSVR game?
Yeah, it's going to be a premium product for a small, focused audience. They're going to be more diehard Sony fans, and they're interested to try the VR.
And to get their interest, Sony will need to bring them diehard Sony IP.
Stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, just make that for PlayStation 5. That's where I am.
You have to make it for both. If they're going to do something like that, you got to have it go both ways. And if they're really talking, if this Bloomberg report is right, they're talking about next holiday. It felt like next holiday was like when we might actually see enough PSVRs where you can just walk out on a shelf and grab one.
Maybe.
So it's like, you really think I want to be like, who's dropping that much money, like on PSVR? Especially if there isn't something that's just like you have to play this, and it's not just an experience that lasts 20-30 minutes. Like it's something that really, really is like pushing the boundaries of it.
Alex was supposed to be that.
I feel like Alex was that for a lot of people.
It wasn't for me. And I think maybe that's where I got off the train. Because Alex was like, it's a full, brand new, you can only do it in VR. Like, this is the system seller that everybody's wanted. And I got it, and I was like, it's
fine.
It's fine. Yeah, like it's...
I see. Yeah.
It didn't blow me away. It did have one cool thing where you could like magneto guns to your hand. Like you could see something on the ground and you could just like pull it and it would just force into your hand. That was neat. After like the first 20 minutes, you got over it. And like you were still doing the same VR things you do before, right? Where you kind of, walk forward and back, like it was fine. That's the best way I could put it. It was fine. It wasn't the big, I would have rather played that game in full production, fully built out on a system versus the VR experience. I think it would have been better the other way around.
Yeah. I'm with you on that 100%. Like for me, it's like I don't even know what games that I would want to play that would actually be benefited by PSVR.
I'd love a
like
real
Ghost of Tsushima in PSVR. Like no, I don't think so, Tim. Like
I'd love a real golf game done in PSVR. Like Hot Shots almost got there, but it's still real clunky. And that'd be worth buying for me. There's people in the world that spend thousands of dollars, like $10,000, on at-home golf simulators. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
And if PSVR is a way of like doing something like that for much, much cheaper, I would be interested in that. But every demo that I've seen, like so much of VR is experimental, clunky tech demos. Like the amount of polished products that aren't like arcadey party type games are minimal.
Yeah.
I get it.
Hopefully, this will be the launch into stuff that isn't just clunky and experimental. Hopefully, by the time it comes out, we'll have moved past that enough to where we're getting things that are much more of an actual game than just like this kind of demo experience. Maybe we'll see Resident Evil Village in like a fully fleshed out VR mode, kind of the way Resident Evil 7 was. Maybe it'll be a better experience that way. So we'll see. I'll keep my eye on it because it is, PlayStation related. But I don't know what it would take to get me to really be like, I want to play VR. Because now I just can't think of any games that would really move me to play in that space.
Sony believes it enough to invest in it and to reiterate controllers and to full production scale. So they're believing in this. And I understand that they like to be artistic and diversify their hardware a little bit. But there's some amount of investment. They think there's going to be some return to it.
Yeah, I think that it's a future endeavor.
Yeah.
They're hoping that this takes off as a new medium that they're on the ground floor with, right? It's like them and Facebook. They're on the ground floor with this thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Facebook and VR, did you guys see that article I posted? I know Lucas dismissed it. I think he dismissed it too easily, but Facebook is starting to run ads inside Oculus software, like apps and games. Now,
and Nescom.
The reason he dismissed it is he read the article, I'd imagine, and I'm throw a little shot at heavy metal right here. I think he just read the first paragraph because it's like 3 games that nobody's ever heard of. But the whole release is all about how they're experimenting with this new program. And like if it doesn't bother people, they're willing to expand it, which means they're going to do it. Which means that they lied because when Facebook bought them, they're like, we're not going to do that. And they are. Like that's all in writing. So you can find the quotes and everything. It's all there years ago when Facebook bought Oculus. They're like, we're not going to Facebook this. It's its own thing. And that's exactly what they're doing.
That is the nail in the coffin for me ever even considering it.
You think about all the data that they pull from you. They've got pictures of like your environment, your living room, what you know, what you like, what your eyes gaze towards. And now they're just going to start serving. Yeah, it is.
It's so creepy.
And here's the thing. I think I saw some people on Twitter about this because I still follow like some VR blogs. They were like, I think people are taking this too far. And I'm like the opposite boat. I think Facebook has earned every bit of like skepticism and criticism. Like they've earned every bit of our right to be skeptical of their endeavors, like what they want, of what we think they want to do.
This
is exactly
to
what
take advantage of us.
Yeah, like it's on record. They do this all the time, so I give them they get no benefit of the doubt with me personally. You knew I was out on Oculus when they were like, you need a Facebook account. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm not touching Facebook anymore.
That's a road
I used to be
too far.
really into Facebook, but it's just like the past 5 years, it's like, no, don't touch that.
Have you seen the ads that they've been running lately for like internet privacy and stuff? Oh my God, I see them all the time. It's like the internet has changed in 25 years. So have I. Shouldn't internet protection and privacy? I'm like, what are you talking about? Y'all are stealing everybody's information. What kind of nonsense?
Power broker.
I'm good. Oh my God.
So
Please
weird.
Be excited.
Power broker.
Get the Oculus. Please be excited.
I can't believe it. It's just
They're like, Garrett needs a new monitor. Just starts serving them up. Garrett's
Well,
playing
they do
Beat
that.
Saber. Like Acer ads start swinging by, you know. Oh no.
so creepy.
God, the worst, the absolute worst. Facebook can kick all the rocks. No, Chaffee. The answer is no. He can't have one. He said his son wants an Oculus.
No. Oof.
No.
Well, I mean, it's really cool. It is really, really cool.
It
give him
is,
that.
but
here's the
just
thing,
no.
Chalfie. I bought it. My kids love VR. We got it. We played it a lot for 2 weeks and went untouched for 3 months. So
you know something can't sit on Donnie's floor for more than like 3 weeks before it's sold.
yeah, not if nobody's going to use it. Why do we have it?
Done.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
why
go.
am I
It's
gonna
gotta
use
go.
Yeah.
It's gotta go. Speaking of things that are sitting around, so I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the Atari VCS actually just like dropped for consumers to buy like June 15th.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
in like
this thing?
$400.
There's a $200 one and a $300 one, I think. There's one that's just like the old school, just the console, and there's one that has like way more stuff with it. It's got like the walnut finish. It kind of looks like the old school
Yeah.
Atari. I had completely forgot that this was even a thing, and then I saw that it
Me
launched.
too.
I was like, "What?" And it's actually, I'm kind of interested in it, just because of all the different stuff that it does. Like, it's actually a computer, so you can
It's an
actually
Android
run
machine,
Windows.
right?
Yeah, you can run Windows, you can run Chrome OS, or you can run Linux on it. You can actually play some games on it. It's running a AMD Ryzen processor with Vega graphics, and it's upgradable. So you can actually upgrade the memory in it, as well as it has a space for an additional M2 drive. So you can actually do a little bit more with the system. It'll stream games, so you can actually subscribe to a service where you can actually stream like modern games, as well as having 100 classic games as well, and 100 classic Atari games on it. So
Is there M2 drive enabled?
Yes, it is. They've
Wow.
gone the extra mile.
Better than
Sony,
PlayStation.
they're already
Interesting.
coming
Head of
out
the
with
game.
the drive working. It's crazy. But apparently, yeah, it plays games in 4K HDR. It has all the different like media apps as well. So you can watch movies and stuff in 4K HDR through all the different streaming systems, or all the different streaming apps. I was shocked when I was like reading through this and all the what it does. I'm like, how did this like just completely slip under the radar? Like, I understand it's Atari and nobody's really looking for Atari
Right.
games.
I don't think it
But-
slipped under the radar. When they announced it, it got a lot of press, and then they kind of delayed it, and then it just got buried with everything else.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, can you add games onto this thing, or is it just comes with 100 classic games?
Well, like out of the box, no. But if you want to get into it, yeah, it's the thing that I've heard about most of it. It's a pretty robust like emulation machine, if that's what
Emulation
you use
machine.
it for it. If that's
I
what you
wonder
use it
how
for.
high it can go. Like Xbox, PS2, that would be
I don't
kind of dope, actually.
Yeah, I don't know about how high it can go, but they've said that it does emulation very well.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that I know. That's what I know about it. I know people are getting it because it's a pretty decent emulation machine.
I
Yeah.
might check it out.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I have no
$400
interest in
though.
this dumb
That's
thing.
that's a freaking high price.
Yeah. At that
Yeah,
point, you
it's
just get an
expensive.
Xbox Series S and
Series
use that
S.
as an emulation device.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah, it runs 300 for like just the regular basic one, and then 400 for the higher end model.
Yeah, I could care
But the
less
fact
about
that it's
this.
also just like a straight PC, like it is truly a computer. Like, I'm very, very interested in checking it out.
I'm sorry, it looks ugly. I'm
Oh
looking
yes,
at
it's hideous.
it's very
hideous.
hideous. Why would you?
That's purposeful. They're
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
evoke
that's what it
the
looked
old
like.
day.
Originally, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the Atari looked like way back in the day before you were born, Garrett.
I know.
Who owns
It's
Atari anymore?
Walnut. It literally black walnut all in bundle. That's what it's
They've been
called.
sold and resold like 50 times.
Mhm.
Like, who even owns the property for them anymore?
Atari.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I thought they were by themselves still. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe somebody reacquired the rights and like restarted it, but they've been sold a lot.
I see.
Yeah,
Well, you can add to cart right now in Best Buy. So go
I'm
for
sure
it.
you can. I'm sure that you'll have no problem finding one of these if you really, really want one.
But the
Oh yeah,
LG
you can definitely get one. It's not hard to find.
Yeah.
Best Buy just told me that the LG 48-inch CX went down $200.
Ooh, time to buy.
Buy it.
It's looking
Time to
nice.
move.
He's not
Dude,
gonna.
I'm
playing
moving out.
I was playing Valhalla last
When are
night.
you moving?
December, January.
That's what? Get the
Bruh,
damn TV.
Yeah. Sir.
What?
Sir.
That's ridiculous.
I'm literally not like home enough these days to take advantage of a TV right now. So
Understood.
monitors
I
all
get
the
it.
way. That's
I
why I'm
don't
interested in a
understand it.
monitor.
Get the
That's why
damn
I'm
TV.
interested in a laptop.
Be
That's why I'm
excited.
interested in handhelds. Like that's
Get
my
that
thing.
little screen that pops onto your Series S and you just flip
Oh,
it
I
out.
saw that. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that.
I like its little. I like the compactness. I wish when they snapped the screen on that you still had all the ports in the back. I feel like that. Maybe it does. I didn't look into it too much, but when I saw they like shifted around, I was like, oh, you lose all the ports and stuff. But it is a neat little like thing. You just like sit on your lap or like on a table right in front of you. I was like, that's. I guess there's somebody maybe with like a really small use case for that.
I'm sure
Very
But-
small.
Rob will get one.
But with you not being home, that's even more reason for you to invest in your home experience. So when you are home, you're getting the most out of it, Garrett.
You're getting it. Yeah, I
He's
know.
Dude,
got a very, very good point there.
I jumped into Valhalla last night and I was like, I forgot this game looks fucking awesome. Like, it looks
It's gorgeous,
so
isn't
good
it?
on that TV.
Yeah.
TV's so nice. Just I love my TV. Just
And could you imagine how much better look on that 48inch CX or a Lane C1?
Oh, she's getting the C1. I can't believe it.
Glorious. Yeah, yeah. She said, "I'm going big. You got to go big or go home." And when you're home, Garrett, if you go big, it'll be great. Just saying.
yeah.
I don't have money, guys. I got that PhD student salary. I don't have shit with TVs. I'm just saying.
I need money.
I need to get a job. Like, come on.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so last little news story that we can tackle before we get out of here. The Series X is going to be able to play games via Xcloud. This is a Donnie was right moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've been telling people. They didn't want to listen to me. I've been telling them for a while now. This came out. I started doing this a bunch when Xbox is like, we're not going to leave Xbox One in the past. We're going to support games. And then all the PlayStation fanboys are all like, Xbox games are going to be held back. Series X games are going to be held back by Xbox One. I'm like, no, they ain't. Because they're going to put cloud streaming on old consoles. So you out there with your VCR Xbox One, you don't even have to upgrade if you are okay streaming through the cloud. Because here soon, they're just going to upgrade the Xbox server blades to Xbox Series server blades. And you'll just be able to play the newest and greatest game just streaming right through your box. They already have a box. Everybody's like, oh, Xbox needs a cloud stick. Yeah, they've got one. It's called the Xbox One.
Yep.
Like they have a set-top box for that. And I really think this is where the Xbox One, I've thought this since the Xbox Sat Edition was announced. Like that all-digital Xbox One box. I've always thought since they showed us that, I was like, that could be the future. Imagine they get that thing down to $99. Like here's an
And they
Xbox
can.
One with internal storage. You can play games locally, and if you can't run it, we've got the late. You play Starfield in the cloud. Like you can still play it. Yeah,
That's perfect.
I've been expecting this for a long time now, and I've always thought that the Xbox, and it makes a lot of sense with Game Pass. I think that's the biggest thing here. Game Pass is weird when you're doing cross generation because if you got people out there like me that are subscribing to Game Pass for years at a time, and then you launch a new console, then all of a sudden like their subscription can feel less valuable. And I think there might even be like some sort of legal things that could pop up. I could see somebody like pulling a class action lawsuit about that. I don't know if they'd win or not, but I just think there might be like some gray area there. It's like, well, I subscribed to Game Pass. You told me we were going to get all these games, but I didn't get all these games because you launched a new console. I got half of those games. This basically puts Microsoft like way in the clear. They're like, no, every game that hits Game Pass, whether it's on this machine or that machine, you can play some way or the other. Like you're never left behind. And I honestly feel like this isn't even news, but I know a lot of people are like really catching on to it. But ever since they said that there was no one left behind, ever since Phil said that they were going to support CrossGen, ever since all of this started, this is where this has been headed. Like this wasn't a new development. This was always in the works.
Yep. All of the Xboxes in people's homes were literally just a Trojan horse to get xCloud.
Yeah, they're just going to flip them on. Now you'll have cloud machines. And they're going to put it on your TVs, and they probably will come up with some sort of little stick or whatnot, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I hope it's, I floated this one last night, and I was over on Chase's show. What I want them to do, you remember the mock-ups for the Series X, and they had like the half Series X, like the half tower? Like you take the Series X, you cut it in half, and like there were people.
I think I've heard.
Like,
yeah, I remember.
Fan-made mock-ups. The Series X was like half the cube. It looked just like it, but it was more like an Amazon Echo type of size, but it looked like the Series X. That's what I want them to make. I want it to be an Apple TV like device. It's a little Xbox, tiny, like a little cube, and you plug it in, HDMI power cord, and you can download, let's say 100 gigabytes or whatever. You can download some stuff that you can run locally, and everything else you can just stream. And you
That'd be
sell it
really
for
cool.
$129 with a controller. I think that would be really, really neat. I would buy extras.
Just
I would
the
buy them.
Series S?
No, well, it would be like a traveling type of.
It would be smaller than that, much smaller than that. Think of like a Google Pod, like something like that, like something you could literally
Like
just
an Amazon Echo.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh, I get it. I just feel like the S is so tiny. Like,
yeah, but
I'll make
it's
another box.
but it's super cheap though. It's $99.
Isn't the S super cheap?
No, it's $299. It's very different.
300, yeah.
Very different expense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think they're gonna have all forms of series whatever, and it's just gonna be different capabilities, like a stick and a cube and stuff like that? Like,
I think they could.
I could see
possible.
that.
Yeah.
Like the Amazon Fire Stick versus the little Fire Box and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm
And they
very
already have all the apps and multimedia and everything, and they have their own OS. Like, this is really a play that they can make, I think, rather quickly, especially for other markets. Chase he always reminds me, think about markets in Brazil and India and China and Japan where
South Korea.
Imports and taxes and stuff are through the roof. Like, if you can get the price way, 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 way down, something like that probably appeals to a lot of folks.
Yeah. And with the amount of games that are on Game Pass, it's just almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like,
selfishly, I want them to make a device that's Game Pass only. Like the entire OS.
A handheld Game Pass device. Let's go,
just
Dev.
Game Pass. All of it's just Game Pass.
Do it.
You stop it with this handheld nonsense.
Hybrid Xbox Series, whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never on the go enough to ever want to do anything with the handheld. Like, it just doesn't happen.
You just have to lay on the couch and your wife watching television.
I would totally buy an
Absolutely not.
Xbox handheld if it wasn't only streaming. Like if it had some sort of local playability.
Yeah.
Even if it was small, even if it was minor. Like I don't care if I'm running 360 games.
Get a small selective games. Like they can always siphon
Ori.
some Game Pass games.
Yeah.
To be like, this is local playable.
I would
on your
spend maybe
device.
$500 on something like that. Like if they came up with like a Switch-like device, I would probably go those.
Well, if it was $500, you're gonna have a lot more capability than a Switch.
Right.
Sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that would probably be the top end for me. Anything over like Surface, no, that's too much.
Like $900 or something.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
crazy.
But if they could 500 and below, depending on its capabilities, like in correlation to the price, like I might be interested. I would probably do something like that.
I'm interested to get a external controller for my phone because I'm telling you, some games on Xcloud work really well. I wouldn't say all the games.
You haven't got one yet.
Yeah, man, you got to get the Razer Kishi. Chucky's holding it.
I think I'm waiting to my birthday. I think I'll ask for that controller. Razer Kishi or that other thing that Jez has. That one looks cool. Yeah, it's not the Backbone, is it? He has another one. Okay, I'll have to check. I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android.
I'm moving to
Because you're
iPhone.
smart.
I'm moving to iPhone.
Why are you moving to iPhone?
Our new server, whatever at work, the county is no longer supporting Pixel because of Google's security certificate requirements. So my boss wanted me to try an iPhone before we found a different Android because everybody else in the office is on iPhone. And to be quite frank, I mean, Dev already knows this. Nobody else might. I really don't care about phones. Like I really don't care about phones. I barely use my phone. My phone is like an extended Twitter device for me. I don't like it when people call me. I don't want to talk to you. Like if you text me, I'm texting on my computer anyway. So it's just text, emails, messages, and like Twitter is basically all I really use my phone for. I don't game on my phone. I have a controller and everything, and it's like, yeah, I probably still don't want to. Like, I'm kind of phone agnostic.
That's why I think it would be much easier with the extended controller. And
yeah, and it's nice. It is nice. That's definitely the way to go. I just don't care enough to actually do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
same boat as you, Donnie.
I'll flip out my Chromebook and just pick up a controller. Like I know who I am.
Get your 3DS out,
Yeah.
right, Deb? Play Mario Golf. Get an online tournament going,
Yeah.
right, Dev?
No.
You can get it refurbished for $100 right now. That's a lot of games for $100, and I can hook you up.
That I'll never play. It'll just sit there. I don't like playing on the couch
Samus
around
Returns.
people.
Get Samus Returns, yeah. That's a good one.
I want to
And-
sit in my chair and play on my screen. I don't want to have
The
to
screen
do
on your
anything.
handheld device, right?
No, it's too small. Can't do it.
The screen
Can't
in
do it. I'm
your
old,
hands.
Garrett. I can't see the screen. It's too small.
Well, it makes the
You squinting your
graphics
eyes
much
or something?
easier to deal with because the graphics aren't super great.
It's like 240p.
It's 370p.
So
But if you hold it like
No.
right here to your face, it's not
It's
so
like-
bad.
you can see the individual polygons like an N64 game.
Just like this, you just like.
Oh my god.
It'd be like a VR headset, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus. Handhelds. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Steam Pal,
Sit in my
can't wait.
chair.
Oh Lord.
Jesus. You don't even get a laptop, Garrett. Just get the Steam Pal and call it a day.
You know, if Steam Pal ever showed its face, I'd be interested.
That PC Gamer Show, right?
I did not touch that thing.
Why is that a
I
thing?
did not watch it. Okay, all the
I never
other
watched it.
crap
They're always
that
awful.
was on E3, like Bandai Namco, Capcom, Gearbox, all the other crap, I did not touch it, and I saw other people was like, it's garbage. I'm like, thank goodness I did not touch them then.
Yeah.
Yep.
I tried to tell Warren Sean. He was like, "We're gonna go stream Capcom." I was like,
Don't.
There's no
Why?
need to do that.
Please stop.
This is my only reasoning for Sony to come back to E3. So they can take all the dumb stuff that's being shown on all these other streams and just put them on there. It's like, stop it. We don't need a Gearbox show. We don't need a Capcom show.
Well,
we don't need
in
a Square Enix show.
In fairness, like, well, Square Enix has had good shows in the past. It's just this year. This year's wasn't
still
very good. Yeah, this was
lackluster.
weird. Yeah, this was a little weird. I would love for Sony to come back. I mean, it would feel great again. Again, it's not about the stage. It's not about the spotlight or metrics. It's about the lifeblood of the community and getting everybody into gaming again. And it feels weird when Sony's not there. They should be there. Like, it's their place. They should be there.
I just want them there so I don't have to watch all these other stupid shows. Just put that stuff on your stage, please.
Yeah, we're
Please. We don't need a Gearbox
Square's
show
still going to have
ever
their own
again.
show.
I heard 2K was literally a Zoom meeting that they recorded. The 2K keynote for
The
E3.
Take-Two thing?
That's it. Take-Two.
Yeah, there was like a diversity and inclusion panel. It wasn't even
What?
games. Yeah.
They just
Oh.
have their HR director or some shit. Like, you could keep that to
Something like
yourselves.
Yeah, it was a diversity and inclusion in gaming panel, I believe. It wasn't games at all. So yeah. I mean, we need that in gaming, but I just don't know that
Yeah, but we
E3
don't
is the
need
place
that
for
as an E3 spotlight.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna do it, actually do a real panel. You know, like
Yeah.
with people and stuff. You know, it'll be
Yeah.
better when they open up the convention center and you can have people back
Next
and
year.
It'll be better. Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
that they did it. I haven't. There's no regrets. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And as
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been saying on my podcast, I'd much rather get all the bad news at once than them continue to sprinkle the shit all summer long. It's like, no, even if it's
Yeah.
bad news, I'll still take it all in one weekend. It's
The
much
sad
better.
part is it's still not over because you still have more Summer Games Fest stuff. You've got EA
Yeah, but I'm not
Play
gonna pay
or EA
attention to
Live
those.
or whatnot.
I'm not
There's still
going to pay
gonna
any
be some
attention
bad
to
news
those.
that's gonna come.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay attention to those now.
The only thing we'll pay
Not
attention
even
to
not
is
even
Sony.
the EA one.
Nah. Dude, EA Play has sucked for 4 years. You know, it has not been good for a while. It's like the EA shows I think are so weird because they feel so scripted and
they are.
choreographed.
Yeah.
Like they're so strange. It's just like, what is happening? They like have all these like TV lineups where you like hop from location to location and it's like two people here and they're like, oh, let's talk about, you know, like you think about when I think of EA, like what was it, the Star Wars, Was it the Star Wars game when it was first shown?
The Fallen
like,
Order one. Yeah.
We're working on Star Wars. And it's like,
It was so weird, wasn't it?
you want to tell us anything at all about your game?
The actual
No.
good announcement coming out
Yeah.
of that thing, and it's just so small.
We're
And
working on it.
Wasn't that at the Xbox conference? And then
No.
they showed her the EA Play?
No, it was EA
No,
Play.
That was EA, yeah, because it was Andrea Renee
Yes.
was hosting, and she walked out to whoever
Into
who's the
crowd,
guy.
right?
Yeah, it wasn't Xbox. That was EA Play, and they just, hey, you're working on something, right? And he's like,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
You want to tell us anything about it? It's about
Not
Star
really.
Wars. Oh,
It's
the new
about
Star
Star
Wars
Wars,
game.
yeah.
You tell us about the title? No. It's like, did you guys talk at all before you hit live, or what the hell's happening?
See, that's funny because I remember the reveal at EA Play, and they actually went into gameplay and they had Greg Miller there. Like, that's what I remember about Fallen Order being.
Well, this is before that. This is before the reveal. This was like, it was first
I
ever
remember as it
acknowledged.
goes.
I
as
think
a
it was the
real
year
title.
before.
Yeah, this is before it was ever
Yeah.
acknowledged as being a real thing.
I thought that was an Xbox.
And there's been a bunch of
I
those,
digress.
right? Like, we get a bunch of those every EA, and it's just weird. And get like a, 15-minute conversation about Plants vs. Zombies and stuff. It's like, they're just missing the boat. It has big,
just
heavy
bring back-
inside Xbox vibes.
Bring back EA Big. Give me a Titanfall 3, and that's all we need. I'll be happy.
That'd be great.
Dead Space.
I'm interested to hear about Respawn and Dragon Age, and that's it.
I bet we're going to
Yeah.
get a Dead Space collection. I think the Mass
be cool.
Effect thing, because it seems like a lot of the Mass Effect upgrades they did through AI. Like a lot of it was just kind of like, I don't know, for not knowing a better term, like filters and emulator things that they're doing. Like, it wasn't a whole lot of people like actually rebuilding the assets from what I've read, a lot of reviews and stuff. So if they have some sort of technology that's like kind of AI enabling like up-resing and color changing and stuff like that, it makes a lot of sense for them to take that to Dead Space and just re-release a collection for that too. Because people are
That'd
going
be
to
nice.
buy it. That's just easy money. It's easy money for them.
Absolutely.
I expect that that'll happen.
That studio dissolved, right? It just went away. It was a
Dissolved, you mean was completely fired?
Yeah.
completely
that's it.
fired and
Goodbye.
away.
EA just decimated them like Thanos? Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
That's what EA does. Yeah, that's the thing. You get scared when EA buys folks. Everybody talks about consolidation when Xbox is doing. At least it's not EA. Because if EA bought Bethesda, there'd be a lot more to worry about.
Absolutely.
Way more to worry about. Arcane
Remember
releases
BioWare?
Redfall, and EA is just sitting there, just,
Wait.
Ready to
Just-
go.
oh no.
Yeah. EA is just.
I like EA. Phil Somewhere Coach
I
wasn't
like
mad
EA
at us.
too.
Yeah, I like EA, but they have it's very clear how they run their business. You have to meet certain metrics, or
They're gone.
You're
You're
gonna
gone.
get Thanos, yeah. And get that snap.
yep.
Better get them microtransactions ready. Don't
Yep.
come to the plate with nothing else unless you're respawn. Then we'll let you.
Or you have to build it on what is it, the Dice engine?
Frostbite.
Oh,
Frostbite, yeah.
Frostbite. Yeah.
That's what killed a lot of developing
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah. All bad. All right. Let's get this one question, then we can get up out of here, people. So, Rude Days 93s, he wants to know what was you guys' favorite and least, or what is your favorite and least favorite next gen feature so far?
I'm excited to hear it, you guys, because I saw the question in my initial snap is I don't know, I guess, if I have a least favorite.
I think I do have a least
Yeah.
favorite.
Okay.
What's your least favorite? Because I'm curious also.
Because I think it's still getting ironed out, so that's why I still think it's my least favorite. It's annoying. It's really the quick resume on Xbox.
Really?
I still get certain games where I do quick resume and it freezes up. Now, it's not all games. I think most Series X games is fine. It's when I'm playing Nier and then any Xbox One games or backwards compatible games.
So that might be Nier's problem. Nier's kind of a
Yeah.
mess.
Nier Automata.
I don't know if that's the best example, but
No, it's great technically. Like it runs 60 frames on Xbox One just
Sure.
fine too. I think it's just maybe the way Quick Resume handles it going back
Well,
in.
to-
It freezes
to-
up.
fortify your position. I had an issue with Valhalla when I started playing this weekend where I chalked it up to quick resume. I've had Valhalla sitting in quick resume for like a month, and I've never played it. So I clicked on it, and I noticed I was like all kinds of buggy and everything. So I hard reset my console and then reopened it, and it all went away. I mean, I think that's going to happen. Like, I don't think you can just leave stuff there forever and like expect no issues.
I think that's the same thing with me
updates
as
work
well.
with quick resume?
Yeah.
How do updates work? Like if it's in quick resume, how does it update the software?
It still updates, and it just like restores your state. But I would never. I think saying it's my least favorite, I think, is a road too far because I definitely enjoy it. Have you done like all the stuff? Have you put the group on your homepage so you can see everything that's in quick resume and everything? Yeah, like I really like the progress they've made to it, and
me too.
It's one of my favorite things about it. It's something that I actually feel like I miss when I turn my PlayStation 5 on. It's one of the first things that I realize is like, oh, PlayStation can't do this.
Right.
I'm still stunned every time I try to hop it back and forth the game, and I get that splash screen of titles, and I'm like, oh, that's right. This isn't working over here because I use it frequently on Xbox, and for the most part, it works for me. I think it doesn't work every time, and I think that's the issues that people expect to just work always, which I get. It's a feature, but I use it a lot. Like a PGA Tour golf has been like just indefinitely suspended on my account because every time I'm playing a game, like when I just get a little bored or whatever, hop over and play a couple holes, hop back. Like it's a great thing that I really personally am enjoying a lot. So I'm not trying to take away your point.
No, I get that totally. It's just I think it would be the most useful and my favorite feature if it just worked the way intended. And I understand I can't put it on for too long, and I don't know. It just seems a lot of caveats with it that I don't mess with 4 or 5 different games at the same time too. Maybe 2, maybe. And,
I think I have 7 games in quick resume right now.
Oh my gosh,
You're a monster, Donnie.
So, yeah, I really enjoy it when it works. It's just more often than not when I use it, and it's just sparingly. It just doesn't. There's a lot of bugs to it, especially.
I will say that I think the worst thing about it is it doesn't work for everything.
Yeah.
And if it's a system feature, you just feel like it'd be on forever. But apparently the games have to be, they've got to at least update something to make it compatible. Now it works for most, especially the new stuff. All the new stuff seems to be working. But if you're jumping back between Xbox One stuff or 360 stuff, then you can get a little hit and miss. Mm-hmm. There was a game I was playing the other day that just didn't support it. And I definitely took me back because I clicked on the icon
oh, crap.
and I had to restart, and I was like, oh, filth. Like it's like ads in YouTube for me, Dev. Like now when I did, I'm like, oh, this sucks.
That's funny. I mean, I can't speak to quick resume because I don't have it, but I only typically bounce between 2 games. Yeah. And one of those games is always Destiny, and since it's always online, that'll never work for a quick resume game because it's got to reconnect to the server. Yep. So I would say my favorite next gen feature so far has just been the speed. Just the lack of loading, how fast everything just runs. That is my favorite feature by far. Just being able to get in and out of stuff so much faster than previous generations. It's just been great. Especially when you have limited time, the fact that I can jump into Returnal and it loads up pretty much like that. It's great. Fantastic. Yeah, I can't think of a least favorite feature though at this point.
Least favorite might be like storage.
Storage is rough. Storage management.
If I had to pick something, storage management. Like if I had to pick something, I think maybe that would be it. Like I was having.
What do you mean by storage management?
Just how much you like on PlayStation, right? I have to set all of my PS4 stuff and everything to install on the external. All my PS5 stuff has to install on the internal. I feel like I'm aware of how much storage I have on all my machines, more than we ever were in the past. It's just a thing. It's just becoming more and more of a thing. Even on Xbox, I've got like 8,000 storage devices hooked up to it, but I'm still, managing and juggling. I ran into an issue where I was playing Valhalla. I have the gold thing, so I got the new DLC, which is what I wanted to play. And I kept trying to boot up the game, and it kept putting me in a loop. It was like, hey, you got to download this. And I'm like, it's already downloaded. And I see that it's downloaded. And eventually I had to keep jumping through all the menus to find out that the DLC installed to my internal, because that's set as the default. But the game isn't set on my expansion card. So they're reading the game from my expansion card. My DLC is on the internal. I had to move the DLC from the internal to the expansion card and reboot the game. Like, that doesn't happen often. It's like the only true example I can give you of it. But it's cognizant in my brain of like how much where I'm having to do via storage. And I remember when I got my PS5, like having to move. You remember I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was having the storage issues with the PS4 games installing, and then they wouldn't play. And I had to like re-download a bunch of them. I don't know. It's a minor complaint, I think, at best, because I really love most everything about all these consoles. I think all of it's good. So that's just me, like, really, I feel like grasping for straws. Every now and again, it's just a little weird. I come up with something. It's just like a little weird with the storage. Yeah.
My favorite thing that really stood out to me is actually from the PS5. Every time I play a new PS5 game, whether it's Astrobot, whether it's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, or right now Ratchet & Clank, it's the haptic feedback on that controller. I just think it adds, like, I know it's not like a huge thing. Like, it just does a little bounces and everything, but there's so much detail to every time you like walk or every time you shoot or the speakers that are coming out of the controller. I think it's like it gives you more immersion than I've ever felt in a video game. And if they transfer that type of stuff into VR, like with their controllers, I think that's gonna be pretty dope. To if they have a full-fledged VR game with that haptic feedback, I'll be like, that sounds really cool. That's just Xbox. I love it, but I just know I just expected what to get with the Series X: faster speeds, all the software upgrades and everything. But it was really transferable to it. Whereas PS4 and PS5 to me, it was just a whole different experience, and that haptic feedback was just like, I think it's not a huge game changer, but it like definitely, it's like, oh, this is very nice to have. Very beneficial.
I agree. I think the DualSense is the most thing that's changed from PS5 to from PS4.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't feel like it's a whole
100%.
different experience, though. The system itself, like the actual console, like omitting the controller, the system feels very familiar. I think a lot of the back end stuff looks a lot of the same. You still get a lot of the same stuff when you're hopping through the menus and the options. Like, to me, it's more an extension, but the controller definitely sets it apart. So I definitely agree with you there. Playing Ratchet, I love the audio cues that come out of the controller.
Yeah.
They're really, really, really good. Like when you're landing, your spaceship comes down and then like you feel like the light rumble in your controller, but then the controller goes like, ooh, it's like, that's cool. It's like, I feel like
Infamous. I've never heard any of that.
I feel like Infamous played a lot with that.
Because you're doing headsets, man. You gotta explore with the speakers.
I hear it all here. It's beautiful. I don't want to.
Yeah. I don't know. Because it feels like it's coming from a different source. I feel like it hits differently, because you're expecting to hear it from your headphones, you're expecting to hear it from your TV, but it's honestly like when you hear it from your controller from a different angle, I think it makes it more noticeable in a way, because you're definitely going to be like, oh, that's something else. Or like, every time Ratchet goes up to a terminal and he starts typing, and you get those clicky clacks coming from the controller, and they sound more clicky clacky than they do like in your headset or from the TV. Like it hits different. Like, it really, really does, because it has like an echo, like there's like a depth to it, right?
And it's much more near compared to like your television.
Yeah.
So, that stuff is far away, but you're just like right in front of the keyboard or
they
something.
said they put a lot into that speaker in the controller. So
yeah, really
pretty
impressive.
Cool. I love
really
that
good.
controller. It's so nice.
Least favorite thing on PlayStation, the hand cards. Absolutely useless. On the
I don't even notice them.
I could make an argument. My least favorite thing is just the UI in general. I'm not a fan of the PlayStation 5 UI. It's not awful. It's not broken. I'm not going that far. It just doesn't feel very optimized. Like every time I'm in it, I'm like, I would redo a lot of this. There's a lot of stuff I would move around, change this here, I would hide this here. Like the whole home bar thing, like when you got to press the button and scroll all the way over to turn the system off and stuff like that. It's like, yeah. I signed up for their
twice.
I signed up for their. Do you see the beta?
Yeah,
I want to get into their new. I want to get into their new stuff because I think there's a lot of. I hope that this isn't a situation where they.
What you're thinking? Their betas typically aren't like UI stuff. It's like some little feature, like it'll be something they change with chat, or maybe they'll turn on the M2 drive for people who are in the beta to test it out. It's not going to be any UI overhaul. If you looked at the PS4, the UI never changed. The PS3,
I know,
the
and that's
UI
what I was just
never
about to say.
changed.
I hope they don't do this. I hope this isn't what it is for the next 8 years. I hope they react. I think they'll make a few minor changes. The PS4 did change a little. They did make some.
You got
stuff.
folders.
You
got folders, and you can reduce the amount of things that showed on the screen. I think that's probably about it. I love the UI. It's exactly what I want.
I know. I don't see how that's even possible, but sure.
I can't stand the Xbox. There's too much shit going on.
It's not even. I'm not even gonna make a console thing about it. It's just the UI on its own has a lot of room for upgrade. Like if you don't compare it to Xbox, compare it to iPhone, compare it to the Wii, compare it to any other devices that UI. It's just like there's a lot of stuff happening over here that could be cleaned up.
If I could make everything look like my PS5, I would. It's very simple.
Those title cards could be fixed. Like the one really awesome thing that they did is that they put in the stores like built into the UI experience. It all loads and it's a part of the kernel, which I really like. But there's a lot you could do with the PS5 UI to make it a little bit more not user friendly, but more streamlined, faster. Not speed, not in performance, but like faster to get where you're going. Yeah. There's a lot of steps to get where you're going.
I'm already always where I want to be.
No, you're not. I'm not even listening to this at this point. Nope.
I don't get it. I don't understand what the hell you streamline. I want to.
There's a lot of steps involved. Like if you're trying to get to options, you're trying to get to, or at least the things that I'm using more often.
Presses.
That's a lot for a UI on a game console when you consider
to go to options.
No, but listen,
press the button twice.
Let me see if I can explain how this maybe better. It's not that the two button presses are a road too far. That's not the point, Dev. Think of how many things you can get to without pressing those two buttons, like that are just on the screen, that could be replaced with stuff that you're using more often. I don't think any of us are using those title cards, right?
But then,
but they're prominently displayed like 30% of the screen, prominently every time you load it. Like you could move stuff around.
Actually, a lot of people who use those title cards and then complain when they don't have what they want in the title card. Like if you actually look at it from that perspective, there are a lot of people who are who trophy hunters. Like that's what the title cards were put there for. They're for people who hunt trophies.
Well, then put them in trophies,
a lot of the complaints that I've heard about the title cards is that they don't do certain trophies that they want, but they use them very often to go and hunt this one particular trophy and get it out the way. So the title cards, like, what, you take them away? What do you do with them? Like, if you don't use it, you don't have to you don't pay it any attention. Go to where you need to go. Like, I don't get the whole.
But they're in the way. I'm passing them a lot.
What?
I would like to replace them with things that I think are more functional.
So you just want a customizable UI?
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I'd probably not change anything.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that. I mean, I think the best UIs are customizable. That's why you see the iPhone,
the bottom bar.
That's when you see the iPhone, and yeah, I know.
You can customize the iPhone.
Like you let people put the stuff that they want most at the front, and then the things they use the least, you go dig for. And the PlayStation 5 is not that. And it would be nice if it was just a little more like that, in my opinion, personally.
Even though they have the title cards, it's still really hard to get to the trophy list in those games, and it shouldn't be that hard. And it was very difficult.
Steps. It's not difficult. It's just steps. There are things you have to do to get to where you're going.
There too, because I'm confused. I'm so confused when I try to get to the trophy specifically.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm just saying there's a little tuning up that could be done, I think. And I think, but here's the thing, though. I think they will. And when they do, I'm going to be here to tell Dev, I'm like, I told you so.
Yeah, I think I don't even notice it. I didn't notice it at all.
I don't think this will be
I don't notice any of this shit.
I don't think this will be the UI forever. I don't think this is a PlayStation 4 situation, because the difference being, I think the PlayStation 4 UI was real good, and I think I've heard enough people that I think they'll tweak this a little bit, not a lot, not major, but they'll put some tweaks in.
Leave it alone, damn it. Turn on the M2 drive.
As Chalfie says, get that clutter out of here. Well said, Chalfie. Well said, Chalfie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What clutter? What clutter?
It's
What
clutter.
clutter? There's no fucking
It's
clutter.
clutter
You're
everywhere.
smoking crack.
We need a
You're smoking
YouTube
crack.
video. We just go through the PS5 UI. And it's like, this is annoying. This part is annoying. And
Oh
just
man,
go
I'll
through
pull
it
out the
all.
red. I'll be like John Madden.
Just
Just circle is like, if we just move this out of the way and we can get through here and we go, and it opens up the hole right here as we move.
Y'all are looking for too much. I go to like two places: the game and the options. Those are the only two places that I ever actually go on the UI. So I don't notice any of the other stuff that you guys are mentioning.
Okay, well, just so you don't notice it doesn't mean it shouldn't be better.
It's not there. It just it doesn't exist. It's like The Simpsons. Just don't look. It doesn't exist.
No,
It all
that's
just goes
ridiculous.
away.
Just
Don't
ignorance.
look.
Just be ignorant.
Don't look. Oh, hell yeah! Give me the blue pill. Let's go.
Wow.
All right. With
Good
that,
stuff.
that does it for episode 14 of the PSVG's Game Tech. Hope you guys learned something new or got excited for any of the nonsense we talked about today. Just want to give a thank you to our patrons at the producer level: Mr. Michael Masick, Barry Cathcart, Edwin Callow, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Rude Days 93, Ben Moxham, Rob Emanuel, Nick Fall Harbor, Paul Calico, Cal Heyman, Grouchy Surge, myself, Josh Borbone, RJ Kern, Horse Girl 69, Zachary Adams, and Joseph Wilson. Without our patrons, shenanigans like these wouldn't be possible. So thank you for your patronage. We really appreciate it. And please feel free to follow us over at Game Tech Pod. Tune into all the things PSVG at psvg.blog and PSVG over on Twitter. And with that, may your K's and P's be bright, your frames glorious, and your flops powerful. We are out of here.